first met Marcus about 15 years ago at a place called Ashridge, and at the time Whitbread were doing some management development at Ashridge. It's a college not far from Luton, strangely enough, centre of the universe. What that programme gave me and what I got out of spending time with Marcus was quite impactful, and I've spent probably the rest of my career looking for opportunities just to get a little Marcus injection every now and again, because he leaves me feeling incredibly positive and up for it. Over the next 10 years I had some stuff to do with him. Then I didn't see him for a while. I came back to Whitbread and I ended up at Ashridge again. And I had this really bizarre situation. So we're sat in the cafeteria at Ashridge, and I started to explain to some other people from Whitbread about this guy called Marcus Child, who I'd met when I was there 15 years ago, and what an impact he'd had on me. And without a word of a lie, I put my coffee cup down on the table, I looked out the window, and on the lawn outside Ashridge, Marcus Child is playing frisbee with a group of people who he was running a course for. So I took the opportunity to go outside and say, hey, how are you? Not seen you for ages. I'd love to do something with you in Whitbread. Everybody is Kung Fu fighting. Service Kung Fu is the product of bringing together a bunch of area managers, a guy called Dave Ingham, who you might be familiar with, myself and Marcus Child. We brought this group together around the service agenda, and it's something that I've been quite keen to push since I arrived with the company. I've always had this issue with Good Night Guarantee, not with the promise, because I think the promise is really, really important, but with the way that we executed it. And I sort of saw this opportunity to jump on the back of an appetite to do something about that, to elevate our service culture. So that's how that was kind of the inroad. That's what got Marcus in the room, and that's how Service Kung Fu came about. Because Good Night Guarantee was always, we viewed it as as being armed. We were ready to deal with complaints with the Good Night Guarantee. It was like our weapon that we had in our pocket, and we could pull it out and go, here's your money back. And what we were talking about was unarmed combat. We wanted to take that away and put our team in a place where they were ready to deal with any issue that a guest had in a heartfelt, sincere way that demonstrated to the guest that we cared. We were taking the weapon away, they were doing it without arms, and that's what Kung Fu's all about. It's unarmed combat. Kung Fu's also about putting yourself in the right place at the right time, anchoring yourself in that place so you're confident, you're comfortable to be able to demonstrate to any of our guests who've got an issue that you're there for them and that you care.
Don't think. Feel.
And what I get out of Marcus is that recognition of how important it is to reset your state, whether you're helping a guest or whether you're helping a team member. Really important to be there, to demonstrate to them that you're interested, you're listening, and to make appropriate recommendations that are constructive, that are helpful, that demonstrate that you care. People don't necessarily join our industry because it's the highest paid industry in the world, but it does provide a community, and that's something that I hold close to my heart. It's a community for me, and it's a community for our team, and as leaders of our business, we're all responsible for keeping that alive. So reset your state, be there for your team, but also, of course, be there for your guest. I don't go into some kind of a trance to reset my state.
Correction, I know your father.
Through years of experience of standing toe-to-toe with guests, I've learned to realise that actually when you are in an I'm okay, you're okay situation, it takes the edge off the conversation straight away. It brings the tone down, it brings the language down. So actually, it's the first, for me, I'm okay, you're okay, and setting your state is definitely the first move in Kung Fu. I'm okay, you're okay. Let's have an adult conversation about how I can help you. PI wow for me is random recognition of a guest, and that has got its place. The Yorkie on the Pillow story, we all know where PI wow started, and that's really, really important. The critical bit of the Yorkie on the Pillow is that it was full of emotional content. The story that goes behind it is more important than the offer of the Yorkie. And that's the important thing for me. You know, we can give out random stuff, and we do give out random stuff all the time, and it'll raise a smile and somebody will appreciate it. But actually, it will only resonate with them. It will only say to a guest, "These guys get me. They understand me." When we do that on the back of some emotional content, there is a risk that the PI wow becomes the norm and is expected. You know, every time I go to that hotel, I get this, or there's always this in the lobby. So I've got this thing about regionalise. If you can't personalise, regionalise. If we can tell a story about something, whether it's a food product or whatever it is, and I'll leave you to try and have those conversations with your team about what your city's famous for. But if you can't, if you've not got the time, or you want to do something a bit broader than constantly looking for emotional content, because that should find us. We shouldn't have to hunt hard for emotional content. It should come to us. But if you want to do some generic stuff, regionalise. If you can't personalise, is a message I'd like to leave with everybody. But that generic giving of the same stuff does, you know the 3-ring model. It becomes expectation. So the first time I stay, if I get something in my room, it's really nice. If I get that 3 times, I'm expecting it on the 4th time, and there's some risk there. That that 4th stay when I forget to put the Kit Kat in the bedroom and the guest goes, "Where's my Kit Kat?" You know, it becomes an expectation, and we need to be really careful we don't set too many expectations. So keep it random, but where you can, make it relevant. You get the far biggest payback where we use emotional content. And you know what emotional content's all about. It's about finding an opportunity to connect with a guest based on something that you've talked to them about, or something that you've observed. You know, they might be travelling with children, they might be travelling with an elderly parent, whatever it is that gives you the opportunity to metaphorically say to the guest, "I understand you, I get you," and we make a gesture that's relevant. That might not be a gift, it might be recommending somewhere that they would never have found if you'd not told them about it. And that's why this area of Kung Fu is so exciting, because it's about you and your team knowing history of your town, the history of your city, what's out there in the marketplace, and bringing some stuff to life, talking about it in your meetings. What's the latest restaurant that's open? Where's that little independent coffee shop where you can send a guest instead of sending them to one of the big brands? Not that we shouldn't send people to Costa, but think of those opportunities to enhance somebody's stay in your hotel or in your city. That leaves them thinking, I would never have that experience would never have been what it was if I'd not stayed with Premier Inn.
Express yourself.
This initiative's called Ask Andrew, but now this is me asking you. I'm asking the North. I really want you to get behind this. Share your stories, get your contributions in. If anybody owns Northern hospitality, it's us, the North. Northern hospitality is a thing. It's got its own name for that reason. We're brilliant at this. We do it naturally. Look at our guest scores. We are leading the company by a mile, but I don't want to be complacent, and I don't want to slip into that 3rd ring of the model all the time. We are brilliant at it, but our guests are becoming to expect it. So this is Ask Andrew, but this is me asking you, asking the North. Get involved, share your stories, ask your questions, and I really look forward to seeing them. Thanks very much.
Do you want to take part in Ask Andrew? It couldn't be easier. Record your video and send it to the WhatsApp number on the screen. Don't forget to tell us your name and where you're from, and you'll have asked Andrew.
Ha ha ha!